church until they speak with their pastor, and he tells them about what he had promised them, the second coming of Christ. The police were saying that the children that were in that basement were aged between 7 and 17, and that some of them were speaking so boldly about the second coming of Christ. They had no fear in them, so much confidence, that it seemed like they had been clearly hypnotized. A man talked about his pregnant wife who refused to leave the place. She said she even had her baby there and has refused to come home. Hey. A man talked about his son who is in university, who went there and has refused to leave the basement. Wow. They're just different stories of people that, I think just realizing that so many family members were refusing to come home was what broke the story. So they say it seems that they've been hypnotized, and hopefully the man will unhypnotize them, or they have to be taken to a rehabilitation center to cure them of this.
Okay, so let me take the major headline. The issue going on in PDP is yet to be resolved, because Governor Wike is insisting that the current chairman of the PDP, national chairman, IIYourViewTVC, must step down for there to be peace in that party. And the presidential candidate, Atiku, insists that he can't step down now until after the election, because they need him to able to get the swing states. I didn't even realize we have swing states in Nigeria. So the swing states are, let me just in case from PDP's perspective, the swing states are Rivers, Lagos, and Kano. How is Lagos?
How are they swing states?
Lagos and APC, well, let me not make that assumption, but they're saying the swing states
swing towards
swing that they might get the PDP
we don't have a strong Labour Party, so I'm wondering.
So swinging, so they're saying that Rivers, Lagos, and Kano are swing states. Really, I never knew that. Okay, well, that would be interesting to see. But Atiku is insisting that
the votes are really close.
They're pretty close. No, so they could swing either way.
So swing could be, they could swing along party lines, along ethnic lines, those sort of things.
No, it's the votes. It's the vote. Because in the
vote. There's also a possibility that they could be ethnic,
party or according to ethnicity.
Because if you look at the numbers in Lagos sometimes, they are
close. Edo State has gone from APC to PDP.
Yeah, so those are swings. Anyway, so that's the condition. So they've engaged none other than former Senate President Bukola Saraki to lead the delegation to Governor Wike to come and tell him. And give is having this standpoint.
Giving him the vice president?
No, they're not. They're trying to lobby to talk to him to come to an understanding, to calm down. So Governor Wike, as we know Governor Wike to be.
So that he can work for the party. They need the numbers he can control as well.
Governor Wike is just he's an institution.
Yes, he is.
Okay, go ahead.
So the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria have said that they will close the 2.7-kilometer domestic runway of the Murtala Mohammed Airport to enable them effect installation of the runway airfield lighting. They also mentioned that the lighting components of the domestic runway have been absent since the facility was rehabilitated in 2008. And so they are saying that the airport's runway may be closed from Thursday, July 7th, and work will commence without disruption. So they are, I think the airport operators are trying to have like an emergency meeting to determine how the closure would affect the activities at the airports.
So let me talk about IPMAN. The petrol crisis isn't going to get away anytime soon. The Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria has said they might be going on strike. They might be considering a strike option. This is because they are demanding payment for the bridging gap, which is like the transportation. So when they are moving fuel from, let's say, Lagos, where you have the depots, to Abuja or to any other state, the transport cost is a bridge gap, and it must be paid by the Nigerian midstream, downstream petroleum regulatory authorities. They claim to have paid 74 billion naira already, which didn't go down well. And the IPMAN is now threatening that they will shut down. And this might happen this week. We're expecting that a meeting will take place between the government, and IPMAN. The complaint is that over the past 12 months, the bridge gap fund is the IPMAN are claiming that they are being owed the bridge gap fund for that much, and that this money is not covering what the money that they say they've paid is not covering what is expected to come to them.
Okay, let me move quick on to the Punch. 20 directors jostle to replace fired AGF. Traffic lights how policemen, last-mile officers extort motorists in Lagos community. INEC laments as arsonists burn Enugu office. Kids rescued from Ondo Church demand pastor's release. Islamic cleric bags life imprisonment for defiling the 8-year-old. FG issues guidelines to retain all sector spending in Nigeria. Lagos courts remands woman for brutalizing 11-year-old over 1,000 naira. Which one is that story?
Yeah, I did.
And 139 clerics, worshippers killed, 394 kidnapped in 18 months, there's report. 20 recs retire in August as tenure ends, and solid minerals imports rise by 74% in 12 months. Okay, which story? Let's start with
human
your story.
interest.
Yes.
So a woman called Eunice Agboye has been arraigned and remanded in custody for brutalizing her ward. He's an 11-year-old who's lived with her for 3 years. And on this particular occasion, she had given him 1,000 naira to do something. And he came home and told her he had lost it, and that she took I don't know if it was some sort of wire or cable, and that she bit him so bad he was seriously injured on his buttocks, all over his body. Thankfully, she was arrested for that. She went to court, she pleaded not guilty, and even though her counsel had asked for bail, the court refused to let her go on bail. So that's it. I mean, it's good that we're taking things, you know, seriously like that. I don't know if she has other children and who's watching the other children, but obviously I feel that this is someone that really needs some sort of counseling and therapy with, you know, mental issues or anger management.
Okay, so I'm going to take the picture story. On Sunday, the INEC office in Enugu State was burnt by, unknown gunmen. Or, the unknown arsonists, right? The spokesperson for INEC, or the INEC National Commissioner for Chairman, Information, Voter Education, Mr. Festus Okoye, who's been on our show before, said that the arsonists were overpowered. The arsonists overpowered the security guards and forced their way into the premises and set ablaze everything. No lives were lost, thank God, but 748 ballot boxes were burnt, 240 voting cubicles destroyed, the offices and furniture also destroyed in the fire. And this is really sad because we're trying to get the continuous voter registration ongoing, especially in the southeast, because we're hoping that more youths across the country can get registered to vote. But now they've burned down the Enugu office, and even the machines, the voter registration machines also were destroyed alongside other things. So it's a sad development, and the Commission is concerned about these unprovoked attacks on their offices in Enugu being the latest. And however, they have reported the matter to the police, and they're confident that the security agencies are capable of finding this arsonists.
So there are no cameras around that could have picked up on who...
They will burnt down the camera probably. Still in line with INEC stories, about 20 recs are going to be retiring. So the recs are the resident electoral commissioners, and their tenure is expiring. They have a 5-year tenure. They were sworn in around 2017 by the president, and 20 out of 27 of them, some of them have already served the second term, so they don't even get option of being coming back again. And between July 7, they are leaving by August. So the concern I'm reading here is that they hope the president has been informed that there would be vacancy within that place. Considering that we're entering an election year, I don't believe this is the time to have any gap. The moment they are stepping out, there should already be someone that is going to even they'll be handing over to. But they have to go through screening. So if the names are not out by now, the likelihood is 20 people would exit the Electoral Commission and they will be left open.
Okay, let's go on a quick break. When we come back, continue with our review. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Nivea Natural Fairness is now Nivea Perfect and Radiant. Reveal your skin's natural radiance with Nivea Perfect and Radiant, enriched with berry extracts and UV filters. To reduce dark spots and even out your skin tone. For radiant and even-toned skin, say hello again to Nivea Perfect and Radiant Body Lotion. Try the full Nivea Perfect and Radiant range to unlock your most radiant self.
little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get an in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's your view. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it. Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get an in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's your view. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day,
Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing Punch. You had a story?
Yes, so a group of police officers and men of the Lagos State Traffic Management Authority last month have been caught in extortion scheme using the traffic lights at the Sherry-Bega area of Lagos State. So Punch Metro had been receiving numerous complaints from motorists, and so on the 28th of June, they decided to, wear like a camouflage and observe what has been happening. So the particular correspondent who took note of this was disguised as a hawker who had something. She was, I think, selling popcorn with a nose mask and was there for over 4 hours observing how the syndicates were operating. And they found that what they did was the green light just comes on for just a few seconds while motorists are still ongoing, and then it stops without having any form of countdown, and every other person is caught in the middle. And then they take these people, telling them that they have committed a traffic offense. They take them to POS, and they'll be withdrawing us from 10,000 to 60,000 naira from these people. What? They would threaten them that they are going to take them to the office, and everything was just happening that way for a long time. The matter was taken to the PPRO of Lagos State, and he was saying that he's not aware that any form of extortion is ongoing, and if people have the evidence, they should present it so that they can fish out these officers and, you know, met out punishments to them. They also said that what he's noticing from the complaint that probably the traffic light has a fault, but nobody has reported, and that will be fixed. I was caught myself on, I think it was on Saturday, and we just saw the green light. Before we realized it, it was red in the middle, and then they said they were taking us to the office. I said, I'm not coming down from this car. I'm not going to any office. This was too soon because it was just green right away. But then they sent me a receipt of that I have to come and pay 20,000 naira and all of that. Just
I hear a lot of people are complaining about it, that particular spot.
You need to fix
and
that.
I was listening on radio.
The same spot?
Yes.
Sherry?
I was listening on radio because it wasn't newspaper review, and they said that this is something that many people have been complaining about. And the response.
I like that Punch took somebody there. They actually disguised as a hawker. And I'm sure they have recorded. I'm sure they probably recorded it, and I have evidence to show. So they need to. Okay, moving on quickly to Daily Sun. Vice presidential slot at Feniferi MBS Islamic clerics reject Muslim ticket. Religious ethnic intolerance. Sultan Khan, Methodist bishop, others move to douse tension. INEC expresses worry as arsonists attack Enugu office. Amoteco will go after terrorists in Southwest Forest, says Akeredolu. 52 Edo communities shot NPDC office with coffin. Really? Another Catholic priest kidnapped in Kaduna. Abga praises Soludo over fight against insecurity. Zenith emerges best global corporate governance bank. Okay, which story are we starting with? Akeredolu?
Yes, so the Ondo State Governor, Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, San, has said that members of the Southwest Security Outfit, Amoteco, will no longer wait for herdsmen and bandits terrorizing the state to attack the people, but they are going to be taking the battle into the forest. He said that he has observed that the criminals have been coming with sophisticated equipment and guns, and so governors should find means to acquire their own sophisticated weapons to fight. That this is not the time for people to be sitting down and waiting for the fight to be brought to them, that Ogun State citizens need to begin to fight for themselves and speak out for themselves, and they are not going to take this anymore. So he was speaking during the Politics Today program on the television, and he said that we're not allowing, criminals are allowed to acquire illegal weapons, but Nigerians who would have the right to acquire legal weapons are not allowed to do so. And so we need to look into how Nigerians can be allowed to acquire legal weapons so that they can fight for themselves. But right now,
that sounds
in Ondo State,
sounds like what Matawale was saying.
Yes.
Please let me tell the story of the 52 communities shut down the NPDC office in Edo State. So the NPDC is Nigerian Petroleum Development Company. Their office is on Airport Road in Benin City, and the allegations from over 50 communities in Edo State under the platform concerned Edo youth yesterday barricaded the office, saying they are being marginalized. That in terms of local content, they have written several letters to NPDC that employ our youths. We have competent people. We have people from the host communities where you are who have studied, who have sent CV, and you don't employ them. They also complained about the fact that the NPDC building rehabilitation that is in Edo State was awarded to a company in Kaduna State, and they felt that's wrong. We have contractors in Edo State that can rehabilitate that building, but their applications were denied, and the contract was given to someone who has a portfolio company. According to them, the company cannot even exist. They also mentioned how to cut the grass within the facility, that the Oba gave the NPDC land. And they are saying, give host communities the contracts to cut the grass within our community, but they are bringing foreigners to come and cut the grass. And because of this and many other reasons, they've decided to barricade the building. They brought a cow.
I'd like to hear from the NPDC, because I've heard this kind of stories before.
And they slaughtered the cow's head in front of the building. They wore red outfits. They said, we want to be represented in your company.
I studied, there was a case study of something similar where the company came out and said, listen, we actually did try to, I'm not saying this in this case, I'm just saying an example. We did try to engage host communities, but they had this entitlement that, listen, it's ours, and they didn't do the job as they should. So there are different angles, but I would like to hear from the NPDC exactly what's going on.
Yes.
It's good to hear both sides of the story. But there was a story that caught my attention, but let me let you go first.
Yeah, so the federal government has reconfirmed that there's a certain criteria for admissions into our federal government colleges. That's what we know as unity schools, 110 of them. And they say that it's 60% of the admission will be based on national merit, 30% will be on equality of states, while 10% will be on exigency. And they were just reiterating it recently, and this was made by the spokesperson for the Minister for Education. They also said that the admissions into unity schools is really supposed to reflect what our founding fathers have always wanted, which is national integration and unity. And so this criteria will constantly be followed. I guess this must have come up because people constantly, complain about how admissions are given to people who maybe otherwise don't make the cutoff mark and things like that. But 60%, is this for merit? Is that enough? Should we make it 80 for merit?
Yeah,
let people merit their position.
Okay, Nigerian Tribune, we can't take too much stories here. Lagos residents consume 4.5 billion naira food daily, says Sowonlu. FG was too quick to blame ISWAP for the Owo Church attack. Alleged Christians persecution, FG replies 5 U.S. senators. Oh, I wish I read that story. Zenith Bank retains position as Nigeria's best commercial bank. Undo's church saga, our children have been hypnotized, refuse to go home, parents cry out. Income tax returns, FIRS extends due date for companies. Hajj, Saudi authorities extend landing permit for Nigerian pilgrims. Is there any story?
Very short. Yeah. Nigerian pilgrims, a lot of Muslims going for Hajj were stranded at the Lagos, especially at the Lagos airport, because they didn't have the landing. The carriers, the umbrella National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, couldn't get landing permit for Nigerian carriers to drop them at for the Hajj. But now the Saudi Arabia government has extended from July 4th to July 6th, so those that want to travel now have permission to go. According to the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, about 43,000 pilgrims are expected to arrive in Saudi Arabia from Nigeria.
The Federal Inland Revenue Service also extended the due date for filing of company income tax returns for the 2022 year of assessment, which was supposed to be due June 30, 2022 to August 31, 2022, for companies who were unable to meet up with the deadline. So they are saying that this is as a measure of goodwill by the service and in line with relevant provisions of the Companies Income Tax Act. And they are also saying that this extension is a one-off gesture by the service for this 2022 year of assessment on company income tax. And all those people who are filed within that period of extension will not be subject to late filing, so they can easily get in.
Yeah. So the federal government has condemned a call by 5 United States Republican senators asking for Nigeria to be redesignated.
Thanks for qualifying as Republican senators.
Yes, it was qualified in the papers. For asking for the redesignation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern based on persecution, alleged persecution of Christians. So, of course, our Minister for Information was saying that this is based on false premise. That, first of all, constitutionally, Nigerians are allowed to practice their religion freely. But the problems we have is a criminal problem. We have bandits, kidnappers, and they don't care your religion. This criminality affects everybody across board. So to ask for us to be redesignated, only, especially after we've just been taken out of that list, was wrong. So
okay, that's all we can take on Front Page Review. When we come back and move on to our first guest, stay with us. We'll be right back.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bali, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey, as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC communications story.
How we're doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup
check.
Are the scripts on the prompter? Script
check.
Are we set in the VCR? All team in place? VCR
check. Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights on. Plans all set. 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
How we're doing, guys?
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bali, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to...
With the highest rating on Trustpilot, top-level security, and 24 hours customer support, it's an easy and fast way for your phone to receive airtime top-up. Go to ding.com/request to ask for top-up now.
Thanks for staying with us. So join us now to talk more on the First Fountain Homes. Is the Business Performance Manager, First Fountain Homes Limited, Oludotun Olaomi. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
So, First Fountain Home is a real estate company that has taken up responsibility of providing smart homes for Lagosians. Tell us about this.
All right. So, thank you for having me once again. First Fountain Homes is a world-class real estate company, and we focus on development of luxury homes and also offer development consultancy services, right? And also the aim, the drive for us is desire for better living, right? And we are helping big dreamers bring their dream homes to reality, of course. And so our vision is quite clear and simple. Smart homes for smart people, starting with Lagosians. And we are doing this by combining innovation and technology to to accelerate affordable smart homes. And talking about smart homes, we have a smart home project, which we call First Fountain Court at Abidjan GRA right now. And it is luxury exemplified, and the apartment extreme class and style, So basically, if you're a first-time home buyer, if you are an investor looking for high capital gain, if you are in diaspora, looking for safe haven, you want to come to First Fountain Homes. So basically, that's what it is. The concept is clear for us. We are striking luxury with functionality.
So when you say a smart home,
yes.
What does that mean?
All right. So now we are in the era where the concept of home has been redefined, right? So people live where they work and work where they live, right? So there's need for the homes to be able to enable everything, every other functions you want from your homes to deliver to you. And for us at First Fountain, our smart home concept is hinged on 4 cardinal points: power conservation, safety, security, and convenience, right? So these 4 pillars is where we have ensured, or where we're ensuring that the smartness of our homes cover,
So it's not house, open window, house, turn off lights. Is that?
Yes, so some of the smart features in that regard would be your face recognition, smart lock, smart assistant.
That's what I wanted to hear.
Say it in Nigerian English. You can speak to the house, and the house will open the door. The windows will open, the lights will come on, music will come on and go up just by your voice.
Convenience. Right? For example, if you all live here now, and there's the technology senses that there's no motion, it turns off everything that is consuming power. It conserves power for you. Those are the 4 cardinal points where our smartness is covering. Yes.
But there are many people already doing this. This is my industry, so I'm not going to even... There are many people, because of the need for innovation, many people are going into smart homes. So what will make First Fountain Home different from other people in the same space?
All right. So when I was speaking earlier, I said what drives us is desire for better living, right? And I said we are combining innovation and technology to accelerate affordable smart homes. So for us here, the key is affordability. Just imagine a 2-bedroom flat apartment in Abidjan GRA in the Lekki corridor selling for just 28 million naira. And you can even spread payment up to 12 months with an initial deposit of 3 million. What beats that? And we are saying this is luxury, and we are saying this is functionality together. So for us, it's screaming affordability. That's what stands us out. And, in our own development, we put the buyers in our shoes, right? So we think what you think, we feel what you feel, and we ensure that what you are getting satisfies your.
So sometimes
Okay.
Go ahead.
What level of, is the project at right now? Yes. Is it right there? Can someone just go in and look at these homes? Or
some people use our money to come and develop the place.
Or is it just design now?
Well, that's your plan now. That's your money now.
Okay, let me start from there before I come to some people use our money to...
Yes, it's your house, your money.
So the First Fountain Court, which is our smart home project at Abidjan GRA, is divided into 2 phases, right? Because of the empowerment that we have, So we have the phase 1 and we have the phase 2 project. The phase 1 project is already 90% completed, right? So it's not our body, as you said, and the phase 2 project is about 15% into works right now, So you can walk in there, you can see what we've done so far, and the 2-bedroom flat apartment is currently going out fast. And like I said earlier, it's selling for 28 million naira per unit, spread payments up to 12 months with an initial deposit of 3 million naira. I mean, you can get started today. And the beautiful thing is that off-plan sales, are very, they're very good to key into because you get to get this property under market value.
Okay.
So the moment the construction starts going and progressing, those that keyed in at the early stage are able to begin to realize, the appreciable value, on the asset. So.
I had a friend complain to me recently that he paid for an apartment somewhere, and he paid while they were still building. By the time they completed the building, they say, come and take your money. Your money can no longer pay for this.
Are you serious?
So what's the guarantee that for those projects that are still just starting, we have done the payments, and by the time it's ready for us to move in, we are not asked to pay extra money.
Inflation will not have cut off.
My sister.
All right, already there's inflation. So it's not like inflation will not come up. But there's one thing, there's one value that, that drives us, that we live by as an organization at First Fountain Homes, and that is integrity. Right? So we've counted our cost. We've given room for all of these, things that, all of these factors and all of these components, right? We won't come at the end of the day to say, oh, your money cannot, So it is integrity for us. We are who we say we are, and we believe that when you entrust us with your resources, you want to get value for what you have.
So which areas do you have these buildings? Which areas exactly? Is it in Lagos? Is it in Ibadan? Is it in Abeokuta? Where exactly do you have it?
Okay, so Abidjan GRA, the First Fountain Court is at Abidjan GRA, Lagos.
Abidjan, where is that?
Abidjan, at the Lekki corridor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we have major landmarks, so maybe I'll use landmarks to help out there. So
and they have
it's in
Nigerians
proximity
that don't live in Lagos.
to Lagos Business School, proximity to Nova Mall, proximity to Corona School, British International School, so these are areas that are in proximity to First Fountain Court. And of course, you can go on Google.
Outside Lagos, you have any outside Lagos yet? Not yet.
So yes, we have projects coming in from outside of Lagos, and of course, we will be here again to express more on that.
So if you want to get, how do we contact you?
Of course, so you can contact us via our website, www.firstfountainhomes.ng. You can mail us, shoot us a mail at info@firstfountainhomes.ng, and you can call the numbers displayed on your screen right now. And then you can also check us out on IG at First Fountain Limited, at First Fountain Ltd. And you can shoot us a mail. We have our excellent service providers and representatives that will be ready to answer your call and speak to you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing with us the good news from Fountain
First Fountain Homes.
First Fountain Homes.
Thank you very much.
That is all we can take on this segment. When we come back, we move on to our hot topic. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day, all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bali, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC communication story.
How we're doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup.
Check.
Are the scripts on the prompter? Script.
Check.
Are we set in the VCR? All team in place? VCR.
Check. Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights on. Plans all set, 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
How we're doing, guys?
While they learn through play, you can go about getting your pay. The TVC Staff Creche, open to the public from 7 a.m. till 6 p.m.
So joining us now to discuss environmental sustainability is the Director, Business Development and Communications Nigerian Conservation Foundation, Mr. Uchenna Achunini. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yes. So since Mariam got into these environmental family issues and we are constantly reminded of how animals prey on each other, not at the detriment of the environment, but we prey on them at the detriment of our society and of the environment. How do we correct this anomaly?
Okay, thank you for having me. Good morning, everyone. I'm happy you said since Miriam got into this
she has been educating all of us.
Please, you need to drag everybody in. Because all hands need to be on deck for us to be able to make any meaningful impact. She would tell you, and all of us at NCF and those who are involved in everything about conservation and the protecting and conserving the environment, that there's a whole lot of work to be done. And is not something that only NCF and a few who are involved in it now will be able to achieve. So there's a whole lot of work to be done, because the planet, the Earth that we live in, and the ecosystem that we are a part of, so man is a part of an integrated and functional ecosystem that has other components, the forest, the sea, the land, the animals in it, and each of these play a critical role to ensuring that there's a balance in the ecosystem. So what you're noticing in our environment now is the imbalance our actions and inactions are causing on the ecosystem, the environment where we live in. And if nothing is done about it seriously and very fast, what we're seeing today is going to get worse. So people are already crying that things are getting bad. The climate crisis, climate change, the crisis and all of that come with it. So everybody has got a role to play. Right. So when you see a millipede, you should not kill it, because there's a role that millipede plays in creating the balance in the ecosystem. Right. The earthworm that you see, as little as they are, so it's not an advert for her, but she wrote a book about vultures. So many people think, in those days growing up, we used to call it Udelenerios, vulture that eats cups. So you even don't want to get close. You even want to kill it or throw something at it when you see it. But now we'll be made to understand that these are the best cleanup crews that you can have in the society. And without them, a lot of epidemic and diseases would be widespread.
Okay. So I've been hearing this phrase, only one earth, only one earth. Everybody's just only one earth. A few months ago, she went with candle. They were burning candle for only one earth. And I'm trying to understand the significance, what it means exactly, and why are we harping on only one earth?
Yeah, so it's important and we're harping on it because there's only one earth. So if there's a second one you know about, you can tell me. The last time I checked, we have just one earth. And if we lose this one earth, we don't have another place to go to. So, yeah, the mosque and others are talking about Mars and all of that until they secure that. But even when they do, it won't be like the earth. So we have only one earth that all of us live in. And it is our responsibility to, to protect that earth and secure it. When the late Chief Ernest Shoneko, the former head of state, spoke at the NCF Chief Esededu Memorial Lecture that we hold every year. This year we're going to be having the 20th edition next year. He said that the Earth, the planet, is no one's property to destroy, but it is everyone's responsibility and everyone's property to protect. So it belongs to us, one Earth, and we must do everything on a daily basis. So every action you want to take, you must ask yourself, is there a negative impact that action will bring on the Earth? If there is none, you go ahead. If there is, you need to now ask yourself, is there another way I can do this? So that's why they start talking about alternative way of living and doing things. Is there another way that we can generate light apart from burning diesel that is emitting a lot of carbon dioxide in the air? Your cooking, is there another better way, climate-friendly way of cooking that we can do to make sure that the one Earth that all of us live in is secure, and that all these things that we think do not do anything, that are our support, that provide support services to us, all the things in the ecosystem we mentioned, all of them work towards the well-being of man. That's the interesting thing. Everything that you see in the ecosystem, they all work towards the well-being of man. But man, ignorantly, is also working against those. Yeah. Those.
So I understand that the Earth, this is all we have, and many times we don't see the impact in terms of when people change their environment. I had a cousin who was asthmatic in Nigeria for all our years growing up together, and simply by moving away from Nigeria, moving away to a different part of the world where things are kept in its natural form, he reduced his attacks that he had. And sometimes they talk about people living in their house and they put on the generator and the generator fumes cost them to lose their lives. Really sad situations. So I understand the importance of environment in terms of how it helps us to keep it clean. But the average Nigerian is looking at my everyday livelihood. If I need to cut this tree so that I can use it for firewood, I need this coal because I cannot afford kerosene. How can we make environmental sustainability for the average small person that is thinking every day how to live, and yet we thinking sustainability? It just seems like we're speaking English to them.
Okay, yeah, so that's why things that has to do with conservation, environment are almost like relegated to the background. So when you come to sustainability has three components. You have the profit, the people, and the planet. And the planet, the three P's, the planet, they put it at the bottom. Meanwhile, the way it's looked at now, it should be the other way around. The planet should be at the top, where every other person is. So we have to start letting people know that it is important for us to find how to live in harmony with nature. And that is what we try to preach. So ours is not, trying to preach it like it to not look real. Our programs at NCF are taken to the communities. We have presence across Nigeria, and in those places, we are thinking of, okay, that woman that lives at Obudu Mountain Resort, where the weather is -something degrees, how will she be able to survive in that place? So we're talking about how to get some things for them to use to heat themselves in that area. So when you're preaching about sustainability, the person will be listening to you because you are addressing the person's needs. We're taking livelihood programs to that place to train them on and all of that. And so tomorrow you will be listening to Sir David Attenborough talk about living in harmony with nature. So that's what he has preached for the more than 95 years he has lived on Earth. And we are bringing him on this program tomorrow to talk to people about how to live in harmony with nature.
The cleanup crew. Okay, so my question would be, in what way would you say, or have you noticed any response towards this continuous sensitization and education of Nigerians especially about environment? Have you seen any change in lifestyle or positioning with corporate bodies and government policies?
Yes, so we've seen a lot of rise in interest from people, government, corporate organizations, and individuals. So when you look at the government, you will see that Nigeria has been participating in most of all the environmental programs going on across the world. Last year, the president was at Glasgow at the COP26 event, where he made a commitment that by 2060, we are hoping to achieve the net zero emission. Other countries are thinking of 2050 and all of that. So a few days ago, him and the Minister of State for Environment, Chief Sharon Ikazo, we are in Portugal for another program. So a whole lot is happening in that area, and NCF is working closely with the Federal Minister of Environment on that. When it comes to corporate organizations, the CBN, for instance, if you go there, you will see that they started enshrining some climate-friendly kind of practices. We are working with them to organize some workshop where we'll bring all the banks together to review the banking sustainability principle that came into life in 2012 and how they have fared over time. And then individuals are getting, these are programs.
At least we're writing books.
The individuals are writing books, and these are programs before now. There's not much interest, not so much interest.
Before I wrap up with you, let me just tell us about the program tomorrow. What is it about? What time can we participate? You have to pay to attend?
No. It's a free event. So it's the 20th Chief Eseledu Memorial Lecture. Okay. We're using it to flag off 40 years of NCF existence. Okay. NCF has been existing for 40 years. Wow. Yes, and we're bringing so many great people to come and be part of that event. She was talking about Only One Earth. The theme for that event is Only One Earth. It's happening at Hajj Hall, Muson Center, and it's going to start at 11 a.m. It's both a live It's a live event, but we're going to stream it across all social media platforms. Right now, we have close to 3,000 people that have already registered to attend. That's what I was trying to say, that individual interest is also increasing by the day. So people who want to listen to Chief Sir David Attenborough, the ex-British broadcaster and world-renowned naturalist, should tune into that event tomorrow and hear other people from the British High Commission, the Canadian High Commission, and the Minister of State for Environment. They'll all be there to talk about Only One Earth. And then Mr. Environment, Mr. Desmond Ejekudumi, will be the moderator telling us how to live in harmony with nature.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, sir. It was a pleasure having you. Well done. And thank you. We hear all the work you do with the NCF from Mariam. It's a great job, and we'll continue to support you the best we can on this platform.
Please keep putting them and bring them.
That's all we can take on this segment. When we come back, move on to the next segment. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bali, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey, as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC communication story.
How we're doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup.
Check.
Are the scripts on the prompter? Script.
Check.
Are we set in the VCR? All team in place? VCR.
Check. Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights on. Plans all set. 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
How we're doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup?
Check.
Are the scripts on the prompter? Script?
Check.
Are we set in the VCR? All team in place? VCR?
Check. Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights on. Plans all set. 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
How we're doing?
A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be staring up to the Lagos State Governor on roads and infrastructure, Engineer Aramide Adeyoye. She will be discussing the state of Lagos roads, what the current administration met on ground, what they have done, what they're doing, and plan to do. You can join the conversation on 081-270-53687, 091-390-7694. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweet. It's good to have you, madam.
Thank you. Good morning, ladies.
So,
for having me on your program.
Lagos roads. Many people today are complaining, especially the rains have come. And you see on social media, we know we had I think the permanent sec for the Ministry of Environment has come to talk to us several times on how we can ensure we clean out our drainages, you know, so that, because when the rains come, they've been warning us since January, the rains are coming. But now the roads, as we see it right now, many people are still complaining that we have bad roads. Although we know the government is doing a lot in building roads here and there. Could you give us in a nutshell what has been done so far since Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's administration started?
Thank you, madam. So let me just go back down memory lane. In 2019, when we came on board, we made a solid state of the roads. So much so, we had to declare a state of emergency. That saw us getting 8 multinational contractors attack the problem, and then also with the Public Works Corporation, just to be able to stabilize. And in doing that, we told ourselves, we will not do things in an unsustainable manner. So when you pick a major arterial, it was that bad. Even the major arterials were not spared. Ikorodu Road was one example that comes to mind, that you see massive craters on your major arterial from the airport. So we said, what do we then do? You have axle loads on these roads that are not controlled, so you don't have way bridges. The drains or the outfalls, because of our habits, we will never regularly dislodge. And so when the rains come, we always come with this. Most of our roads are in flexible pavements, they're in asphalt. And so in no time, because the drains are blocked, nowhere to flow, it comes on the roadway with the asphalt, and then it disintegrates. So we then said, we will take where we see that there is a drainage issue, we will address it and do that thing in a rigid pavement. And so that saw us taking road section from Lamata in Ketu all the way to mile 12 in concrete. Also some strategic parts of Ikorodu Road in concrete pavements. And then the underpass tunnel at Odoyalaru, that's one perennial gridlock, which everybody, for several years, every time that they repair it, within 3 months, it goes back again. And so we did it in rigid pavement, and everybody can attest to the fact that in the last, at least so, over a year now, it's raining now because you're driving on concrete, the water just glides, you glide over it, and there is no pothole anymore. And so that's what we did to stem that, and then use our Public Works Corporation to begin to do a routine program that's called zero tolerance to potholes. So you take inner roads and some critical networks and then begin to stabilize them. We also identified to say, okay, we must open up new roads. You must make every part of Lagos livable. So new openings, places like Ijede, we did it, opened it up. Places like Obashekumade Road, that's also a road that for the last, so that road has been built 3 times, and each time it has failed. It's failed because fundamentally we didn't address the issue. So we told ourselves there is no point. If we're going to build this in a sustainable manner, pick the problem, confront it frontally, and then deal with it. And so that's us. And what's the issue? It's a drainage issue. So Shekumade has a major outfall that goes all the way to Shagamu. Over the years, either because of the size and the capacity of the drains, we didn't do what we needed to do. But this time around, we said, no, we'll actually have the deck on pile there. We'll have a lined canal. Together with the Office of Drainage Services, we've taken care of that. And in maybe in another 4 weeks or so, that road should be ready for commissioning as well. Okay. But we have sorted that, and it's done. We also said to ourselves, we will do some form of urban regeneration. Make every part livable. Areas that look like they are already in a deplorable manner, regenerate it. Create the networks into that place, and then in no time, developers will come, and that place, of course, improves. Okay. So I think we've done a lot in that sphere.
Okay. Obviously, 3 years down the line, a whole lot has been done in terms of rehabilitating the roads. This season, this is the worst season to come on TV for anybody doing what you're doing, because any little challenge that you still have is more exposed when we have rainfall. One of the biggest challenges we have in Lagos is most of our roads, most of Lagos is below sea level. And we have a bad habit. We're not clearing our drainages properly. So the good work that is being done, because I know the kind of work that went on Okwebi Road, but right now, today, I am very sure with this rain, Okwebi is flooded. So in our road construction, are we putting into cognizance the fact that we might need to raise the roads higher, or we're just trying to sort out palliative measures to temporarily fix the problem? Why exactly do we still have such level of flooding despite the fact that these roads have been done once or twice within the same administration?
Okay, so thank you for that question. Let me tell you something. A road is as good as its drains. If you do not have a good drain, that road will fail. And there are several instances. A typical one that comes to mind is Lekki Expressway. That road was done 40 years ago as a rural road. So you expect that you will use the runoff from the surface of the roadway, you will take chutes to carry it, and it percolates down the ground, and it's fine. It could survive for 35 years or 32 years that way. But the last 10 years has seen massive development along that corridor. People are built, so even the outfalls where it could percolate to are all blocked. So there is nowhere the water is draining to. And so in no time, the road is going to fail. So what you're seeing on a typical place like Lekki Expressway is a failure of the pavement because there's no drain. So as a government, we envisage that there are developments around that corridor. Lekki is the fastest growing corridor. You have, it's almost like the economic nerve center for Lagos now. You have the Dangote refinery, you have a lot of developments, you have Alaro City, so we then thought, we can't wait for this to catch up on us. What we'll begin to do is let us take it from Ekpe backwards and change the pavement, raise the road, create the outfalls, because there were no outfalls before. So that saw us awarding 18 months ago about 18 kilometers of that road from Ekpe to Electoral Junction. In another 2 weeks, that portion of the road in phase 1 is done. Anybody who is raining.
So you're still coming back. You're still coming backwards.
So we're coming back.
Oh, okay.
We're coming back. So it's in rigid pavement. It's not in flexible pavement because by our habits, we do not like the way bridges are there. There are checks for us to behave well, to correct ourselves. But because in this climate, we oftentimes, when the way bridges are constructed, we don't like to go on them. So people carry excess axle loadings that you cannot control. So one of the ways out was, okay, let's do this in rigid pavement, using the codes, put a factor of safety that even when they carry all of these excess loadings, the road will still survive. Right. So that's what we're doing, and we're gradually coming. Okay. And so for people around Lekki Corridor, They wonder why have we not gotten to Abraham Adesanya, because that's actually where it's supposed to end. So because it's a big chunk, infrastructure costs money. It costs money, particularly when you want it in rigid pavement. So we took it in bites. Okay. Let's do this first phase, and then we'll take the second phase, and then we can close up the third phase at Abraham Adesanya, where the Fort Mainland Bridge is going to take off from.
I'm really, really sorry. I need to just still ask that question because I do real estate in that axis, and I can say for a fact that the population that we're seeing there is a fraction of what is going to happen, and we're not planning ahead with the roads. The roads that are being done are good, concrete roads, but they are small. There's already, I can foresee the kind of traffic that would happen in that space.
So what you had initially was a 4-lane road carriageway. Okay. What you have now, you have 6. You have 224, inclusive of a dedicated lane for the trucks, articulated trucks. So in total, you have 6 lanes, aside from your median, your road furnitures, and aside from your walkway, aside from your slip roads. So you see some houses that you cannot enter because it's a major expressway. You cannot just be crisscrossing. It's a transportation highway design thing. You must put those people on the slip roads that they come in and then ultimately get on merge.
The first time I'm hearing that. Slip roads, I like that. I like the sound of that. So I saw a video a few days ago on, I think, Ajala, Ijai area, and it was flooded to, like, massive flooding. I used to live around that area before, and I knew that the government had done a bit of the roads. It's not as bad as it used to be. But I'm wondering, what's the plan for maintenance? Because we do the roads, and then everybody goes away. And after a while, we realize that we are back to the first problem that we tried to solve. Is there any plan that you have mapped out to maintain this road, especially these ones that you are working on, yearly, quarterly, and like...
Okay, so we have, the public works, that's where the public works comes in. There's a unit inside public works that does see to desilting of drainages at critical locations. Ordinarily, it's a work, there's a gang, an effort gang in Office of Drainage Services where they desilt all of this. But we don't wait. When we see that there's a road that is going to be affected, we call the attention of ODS to it, or better still, the team from Public Works, they move in to be able to abate some of this and avoid failures on the road. A typical road that comes in mind is Ikosi Road. You will recollect that about 2 weeks ago, there was almost like a total cut-off of the road because there was a major outfall, there was erosion, a major outfall, and that road was actually going to disintegrate into 2. So we moved in immediately and surveyed that. I tell people, once you don't have a drain, you don't have a road. It's simple. So that rain, because there was no outfall, when the intensity, the torrential rain coming, was actually going to cut off that road into 2. So we came in, stabilized, and then we could move on. So there is a unit gang in Public Works Corporation that does that maintenance in collaboration and in support also together with the Office of Drainage Services. They also have an effort gang where they do that. If you build a road very well, I will tell you, there is no reason why that road should not last minimum 25, 35 years. If you do your regular maintenance, and I can tell you roads that typically this government, the state government, has built over the years that has survived and lasted. Typical ones like Adelareku is one typical road.
Where is that?
That's in Victoria Land. That was done in 2003, so 19 years ago. Aola Road was done in 2020, so 22 years ago. Kudrat Abela Way was done in 1999, so you're talking about 23 years ago. If you have a road that is draining very well, and you keep checking all your outfalls, you keep cleaning your regular maintenance, well, asphalt does get tired, so at some point in time, you might mill it, resurface, but that road should survive.
Yeah. Let me get you.
Okay, so talking about, all the work you've done and the fact that drainages are important, there's this road, like when we're leaving here now and you're driving towards the third mainland, there's the road that veers off to the Bagada Express.
Sholui, that's goes into Sholui Estate.
So there's work that's been done. This particular area I'm talking about, there's like a valley of sand and rocks. So above it are, houses. But there's a sharp
embankment.
Good. Yeah, I think it's a man-made embankment actually. And then on the other side of the road, so there's a road in between. The other side of the road is like a huge field. And on this particular day when it was raining, there was water just coming down this slope and water from the field onto the road. So water from 2 places. And for me, I feel that if this was maybe like 5-hour rain or something, it would cause serious, issues.
Okay.
Because just like a 2-hour rainfall, many cars were already submerged. It was just really the big SUVs that, were able to pass through. Are you aware of this road, and what's the work, and when is it going to start or finish?
Okay, so I'll tell you now. What you're talking about, that's a part of the Third Mainland Bridge. That road is a federal road. You're veering back into Bagada Express. Yeah. And I think I know the particular spot you're talking about. So you have this embankment, like a 5-meter embankment, that is not slope protected, which means each time there is erosion, you will find the rain erode the material, and it comes in, it clogs into the drain, it gets filled up. When that is done, it then comes on the roadway. The sizing of that trapezoidal drain is an issue. It's a federal road, and I think with the Lagos State government, we've approached federal government to say, you have an issue here. Let us see your solution to this problem. Whoever is the contractor that is working for you, let us look at all of the figures, the sizing, and then tell you what exactly would work for this area. Because obviously, your rainfall intensity over a return period, depending on what they've used for their design, we find that it looks like it's inadequate, and you need to increase the sizing. We've done that, we've lodged that complaint, and I think they're taking...
All right, let me, because you mentioned this issue of federal road is a major problem we have. Because many times we're having this conversation, they'll tell you, oh, this is the federal road, you can't touch it. And I'd like to link that up to the Badagry, because when you came in, the first one you asked for was Nima. And I can understand why, because before we came here for Nima, but Nima is not here today. But she's always consistently complained about that Badagry corridor, all the way to Badagry itself. That road, and when we talk to people from government, they say, oh, it's federal road. Dangote came the other day, the presidency was there to come and check up the roads. What is the status of that road? Because you are building the blue line, the rail line to that axis. It's not yet ready. People in that area are having difficulty coming to work on the mainland. So what's been done?
Okay, thank you. So I agree with you. That's one stretch that is, it looks like it is huge. But with planning, I think we can achieve it. So from Eric Moore National Theatre Junction to Badagry Main Town is a 60-kilometer. The concession we have as a state is on 22 kilometers, ending at Okokomaiko. The remaining 38 kilometers is in the purview of the federal government, which they have concessioned under the HDMI program. But on the 22 kilometer where the state is working, we are almost rounding up our own side of it. Before the end of this year, we will be done with our segments from Tenure to Okokomaiko. Okay. Beyond Okokomaiko, it's a federal government thing. We do not have concessionary rights in that corridor, and you cannot...
Can you get concessionary rights?
So there's steps and procedures to it. And if you recollect, the minister said that if you do work on our roads, first you need to get approval before you can work on our road. And even as a state, when you work on it, you need to inform us, and then we will not even refund your money. But we realize that Lagosians, you can't keep explaining to the citizenry that this is the federal road, this is the state road. So we go sometimes to say, come, in the interest of the people, let us go do this. And every time we do this, Surah, when you're ramping up to Surah, that place about 3 weeks ago or so, because it was causing traffic, Public Works did go mill up the whole place, did the asphalt. So what we do is, for the sake of the citizenry, we just catalog all of the things that we have done on the federal side, and we leave it till the day when we can do negotiations to say, we did resurface for you on Marina, over 6,000 square meters, just to make people be able to go. We did this for you, we did this for you, and then we show the dates, the photographs, and then, of course, we will resolve it at some point in time. But we consider the citizenry, and that's what we do.
Because it sounds like bureaucracy. The Nigerian problem is a bureaucratic issue where paperwork, we have no concession, we're not concession to do this. I mean,
we consider the citizenry as first. So we go back and say, irrespective of what this is, we'll document it, because we cannot afford to go back and tell people this is why we didn't do it.
For the sake of information, for the reason this we will not pay you back issues happened was because for a long time, states were asking, we did 1 kilometer road for 1 billion naira. And they're expecting the federal government to just refund them those monies. So they had to just put a bit of check to it. Of course, there's room for improvement, but my concern, Nima has said this thing on the show, I have experienced it. My parents live in Mile 2, and because I went through First Stack and I was coming back, there was no turn-off. I made the huge mistake. I went to Trade Fair and I got on the express. And there was no way to turn off from the express. I had to drive all the way to Orile before I could get off the express. The roads are ramped off. The service lane, by the way, is you have what do you call those tankers parked on the service. So you cannot even stay on the service because if you're on the service and you're stuck there, you can be there the entire day. Now you come on the express, you cannot you can't veer off at all. There are just very little turn off from the expressway. Why was that designed? Because people like driving on that road feel like it is structurally impossible. The framework is not favorable and it needs to be reviewed.
I'll let you answer that question after this break. I'll let you take it. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bali, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With News Bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC communication story.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked, and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move weigh in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty, erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get an in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's your view. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it.
How we're doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup.
Check.
Are the scripts on the prompter? Script.
Check.
Are we set in the VCR? All team in place? VCR.
Check. Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights on. Plans all set. 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
Major trans-highway national route, so it's a major expressway. It's not a metropolis route. So because it's designed as a major trans-highway, West African highway route, it doesn't allow for crisscross. I think we need to understand the philosophy of design and then know exactly what it is. It is not a design failure. It is intended to behave and function in that capacity. What you have, it's a failure of the parallel roads, because there are parallel roads that you shouldn't come on the expressway. You should ideally use those back-end roads. Yeah. So a typical road will be that when you leave Ijora Causeway, you go through Sarigomu, you take Musafejo, Alaba, you come out. You pass through signals, or you come out through Mbakado. So those are back-end roads that you take. You don't come on the expressway believing that you want to come. So once you leave National Theatre, you come to Orile on the service lane, and that's why there are service lanes. Yeah. So you have a 2-lane service lane, you have your 2-lane major fast lane, and then of course you have your rail in the middle. That's why it's a 10-lane expressway. But our habits, again and again. The service lane is where you find the yellow buses park and pick people, and that's, in fact, there are no two lanes anymore. It's just half lane. With the result that people are then forced to go on the major one, and then there is no allowance for them to just detour. But if you are on the service lane, you can get to side streets and side roads. So it still boils down to our people, our habits, the way we are, which we must change.
But in solving the problem.
Solving the problem. Yes. So, Old Ojo Road, and that's where people in Satellite Town, they cry to say, it looks like they have been abandoned. The state government is doing all it can to address all of these issues. So for Lagos Badagry, it's not just, and I keep saying it, first, we must get the fundamentals right. There are no design flaws. That's the way the road is. Secondly, we do not have the whole 60-kilometer stretch to do. We have concessionary rights only on the 22-kilometer stretch. What goes beyond 22 is a federal government issue. So when I hear comments like, from Okokomaiko, Afromedia going down, it's because...
But let me address that very quickly, because I know that the Minister of Works was in Lagos recently when he went to go and inspect, and he said that he was complaining about the theft of materials from those in that corridor, saying that some of them took sand from them and to go and build their own houses. So he has asked the government and the people within that area not to steal the materials, and has also assured the people within that area that the first quarter of 2023, that road will be ready. So if indeed your government does to Okokomaiko, we're hoping that by early next Q1 next year, the other roads will be ready, and we'll hold on to the minister for that.
The minister is very right, very, very right. I can tell you as a government, one of the difficulties or challenges that we have is people taking ownership.
Yes.
You have infrastructure that you have provided. The contractor is even yet to hand over. You find people come in, pick up the slabs overnight, break them, and remove the reinforcement in them. They cut the bases of tubular steel pipes, street lights for sale.
Yes.
They put it in the scrap market. They do it.
The iron they use to cover the gutters.
Yes.
They steal those things.
The gratings exposing people to danger while they're even working or working on the workplace. So these are things that we see on a daily basis. And as a government, that's why we say take ownership. We just don't want to build for you. We want you from day one, take ownership, take it as if it's your... After all, this money is funded, these projects are funded with taxpayers' money. It's your money.
I'll come to BC. Let me take this call and hold it for a while. Juliet, are you there? Malima Shaw.
Yeah, I'm here. Good
You're
morning.
live. Go ahead, please.
Okay, so I really want to ask, first of all, I want to commend the government of His Excellency, Bishop Olushola. Okay, so what she has really taken so much to the money that is taken there. So, but the question I actually ask is this: what is legislature doing to ensure that community roads are well fixed? Because
community roads are well fixed.
The community roads here in Ashore, if you go to the community, you find out that there are so many places, there are so many roads that are built. So what is the Lagos State doing to ensure that the community roads are well fixed? Thank you.
Okay, did you get that?
Community roads.
I think if I got her very well, what is the state government doing to ensure that inner roads are being done? Because where she lives in Alimosho. Okay, so madam, thank you for that question. But Alimosho, I would even say Alimosho is a favored one. In Alimosho, you have had this in the last 2 years, major arterials, not, well, so you've had Ishuti Road. That's a 6-kilometer road that leads to the jetty. Done. Ready for commissioning any moment from now. You've also had roads like Ishuti, about 3.5 kilometers, done. Currently, we're doing Akeson Badore, done. So there are roads that you're fixing that will ease connectivity, and they also speak to this government's intent of the intermodal transport system. If you know, there are state roads and there are also local government roads. So what we're doing as a state is pick those major state roads, get them fixed. Use the public works to also do some of the inner roads, while we also expect some form of cooperation from the local government side to also address. The local governments also have the works department that they can also take on some of these roads. And some of them they're actually living up to the expectation. In Ajegule, the chairman there is, because it tells you what his program is, what he can fix. It will share with you. Do you, by chance, are you going to be able to do another one in the next season? Also, the solo, I think 1 or 2. So I always implore all of local government chairmen to say, come up with your program. What exactly do you want to fix in your locality? So that the state government will then come on and then add on more. Yeah. Because it's a collaborative effort.
So I have a few.
So I'm going to round up on because we didn't quite finish the Lagos-Badagry Expressway.
Yes,
so should
I just read out the tweets about that Lagos-Badagry Express so that you just respond to it at once?
Thank you.
So this person says that, Lagos-Badagry Expressway, this is flourish for. Between Okokomaiko and Afromedia is bad. The suffering is too much. The road construction company blocked the partially completed site, making people to lose their property as there's been, and they also get robbed the moment that there's traffic.
Okay, so that's something to take on board for the federal side, because I said the limits. And like I said, the citizenry, they can't differentiate what's the federal road or what is the state road or where are the limits.
We don't care, really.
So it's something, when we take all of this feedback between the director of works from the federal side and myself, we interact and we tell them all of this and they know exactly what to do. I feel for everybody living there. I wish that project had finished before now, but it's something that both governments, both on the federal side and the state, were working as seriously at doing. Okay. So to the side roads, what we're doing is to ensure that the roads backing the main ones are functional. Aside enforcement that you can go on the service lane to the places where you are going to. When you go on the main express lane, you do not have opportunity for a detour. If you take it, the next place you would go in is at mile 2 that you make your turn in.
As in terrible.
Because you have to understand the philosophy. It's a major trans-highway route. It's not a metropolis, your inner road.
Yeah. So those sides, so those sides, so the service lanes, for example, why can't we get the boys, the good boys of Lagos, to clear it for us so those buses don't stop on the road? Because we're saying there are no jobs. But the boys are available. Let us engage them to clear those places. It's clogged up.
That's one thing that LASMA, the Minister of Transport, together with Drainage Department, are working at. I can tell you something. Nigerians, sometimes it's a bit difficult.
Oh, of course, to govern us.
We know, don't paint it nicely.
So,
we know.
So I think it's not because government does not have the will. We have the will.
Yes.
But LASMA would go in today, they will succeed, but they will come back the following week.
Yeah.
I think it's an attitude that we need to sit, and maybe it's training.
The local government, man. The local governments are ineffective because the local government must show that, yes, I am in charge. This is my local government. This because you know your boys. They live there. You know their mothers. You know their lives. So local governments are ineffective because if we have them very effective, they in the Mile 12 area, they can handle them. Yeah, not the state government.
I agree with you.
So my area that's something that it's good feedback. And we'll see what we can do to that.
Yeah, so I have...
so the parallel roads around Ojo Road, very soon, together with the Central Bank of Nigeria, because that's a road in rigid pavement. And you ask, why are we doing it in rigid pavement? That's a major tank farm area zone.
Yes.
The number of trucks that daily load on the from the tank farms, you will not believe the numbers.
And Lagos is making money.
Lagos is not making money. To fix that, the road is in billions. It's in rigid pavement. It's a 7-kilometer stretch. But as a government, we know, we see the sufferings, we know it, and what we decided to do was pick up the major route that goes to the tank farm. Muniru Bamara Road. It's called Muniru Bamara Road. It's in rigid pavement. But one of the difficulties or challenges of working on that road is that 24/7, they are always loading.
It's hard to work.
It's hard to walk. So what do you achieve as your output?
Wow.
Under that circumstance? Because your traffic management plan in a place where everywhere is all clogged. So one of the things that we say to the stakeholders is engage between the tank farm owners, between the local governments, between the satellite tank owners, to say, let us agree on the time for loading so that the contractor knows I can only work within this hour to this hour and fix. That way, we'll be able to reduce the construction.
Let me take this call. Yakub has been holding for a while. Sorry about that, Yakub. Good morning. You're live.
Yeah, no problem. But you are going to send me 100,000 cash.
No.
Yeah. Good morning, madam. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Let me just say one or two things quickly. The last caller mentioned about community road. Yes, I can speak for Agege local government here. To be sincere with you, Agege local government, our able chairman is really, really trying to be sincere. I can count almost 8 streets that is on construction as I'm talking to you in my area. At the same time, the work is going on simultaneously. And then about the people that cut away the materials, madam, I can tell you for free, do you know those laborers that the people that are giving the job done, giving those guys that come and help us do some certain things, they will come back midnight and begin to cut away those things. And then even though they sold it to the people living in the community, and then the people living in the community, they cannot just go there and pick it on their own. If the people that is working there are not support them, that is one. And then the other thing about our express road, madam, the truth must be saying here. The people that cause major hold up in Lagos State, it is NURCW. Why am I saying that? Just go and check in Yanopada under bridge. There is no at that particular place, no garage. These people will stop the yellow bus at the middle of the road. You guys are driving back. You don't know what is happening. When you get there, you find out that it is NURCW that stopping those yellow bus and collecting the money. And then I had, I think 2 months ago or last month, that the government, the judge, they were giving the judgment that these people should stop collecting this money, but they are still continue. What are you doing to that? Good morning. God bless you.
Thank you, Yakub.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Yakub. Like I said earlier on, it's a collaborative effort between the state government and the local government chairman. I'm glad that you said it truthfully that Agege local government is doing well. A lot of the constituency roads also are in Agege. So Agege, just as we did the Pen Cinema, there are a lot of complementary roads all around. And that's what we do. We look at a whole locality and we try to complete the whole network. It's the same thing also in Ekpe. As you're doing all of those segments, the main arterial, you complement the clusters. In Alimosho, it's the same thing. Once you take a major one, you go back, the clusters you clean. And of course, I understand that you cannot fix all of the inner roads at a go. That's why the public works is there. And they're trying their best within the limited resources that they have. So the focus is on them, that all of the inner roads must come on stream at par with the standard, close to the standard that you have on the major arterial roads. So that's something for us in Ministry of Works.
So NECA,
that's something that we're working at. I know it's an issue.
Yes.
But I know that the modality, there's something that we're working out.
Yes.
And I'm sure very soon the state government would react and announce what
so
exactly
NECA says here the whole of Ejigbo LCDA does not have any good road. The road towards Ajao Estate from NNPC is becoming bad. He said that Minister Fashola fixed it at some point, but it's gone bad and yet there's no maintenance. And I also wanted to ask, for the inner roads that are being worked on, what is the quality control? How do you ensure that they use good materials to fix those roads so that not after a few months we still have the same potholes that we've had before?
Okay, thank you. So Ejigbo is, that part of NNPC is on the federal side. I recollect that, like you said, the minister, they fixed it and it's not. When you have articulated trucks carrying 80 tons for a road that is designed to take 30 tons, it's in no time, it's not, this is pure science. The road will give way. So one of the things that we did as a government coming on board, first set of things that we did was to establish the standard operating procedures that people will know that if you want to build a road, this is exactly what it takes to build. From the right-of-way acquisition to the stakeholders meeting to the design, the outfalls, who is signing off on each of the issues, ODS for the outfalls, physical planning for the right-of-way, works, your design, everybody must sign off. So those SOPs were signed. As a cabinet, we did, so those SOPs were passed. And it's a guideline for everybody that wants to work. In addition to that SOP being passed was the QAQC. For any contractor that will come to the Ministry of Work, the quality assurance and the quality control. And it goes right even from the kind of material you want to use, the specification. So we changed the specification of even semi-rigid pavements, no longer from 30 MPa to 45 MPa. It's not just even the compressive strength, also the splitting strength. To say even if you want to do interlocking pavements, this and this are the standards that it must have and the quality. So that when you use it, we're not having to repeat this road in the next 1 year. Right. So those quality assurance were there. As we did that, even for our own Public Works Corporation, we established an in-house laboratory where the controls are there. The Marini plant, for the first time in 10 years, we did a turnaround maintenance. All of the consoles that were not working, we fixed them. So that when you say you are producing asphalt of this quality, you know exactly the quantity of bitumen that you have poured in, that your gauge, your dial gauge, everything functions, it works. And then it also went into a lot of R&D. So the Public Works Corporation, can actually produce cold patch asphalt. It's really now, if I'm compelled to do cold patch asphalt, I can lay because I have capability.
Okay.
So those are some of the things that we have done for the standards. And then capacity development. As an engineer, you must know what you're watching out for. Otherwise, you get to a site, you don't even know. You're blank. So the last 2 years or 3 years, we've done a lot of capacity development in Ministry of Works as well as the Public Works.
Capacity development?
For the engineers. For the engineers. For training.
Okay. Go ahead, Mary.
So this one may come from maybe a little bit selfish point of view, but I sometimes wonder if the Lagos State government sort of puts into consideration people's lives, livelihood, mental, emotional, states in doing these routes. Because I live on Western Avenue. The bridge, as we know, underneath it, when that fire happened, that's the Eco Bridge. There's work going on, so it's blocked on that axis. Then there's work being done at the Tejo Show area. Then blocked. Then, just different places. And it seems that for me to be able to get my child to school now, we have to wake up much earlier than normal. And I was wondering if, the government could look at when they're doing roads like that in such a way that it gives us a little bit of, leeway so that we can still go about our lives without just sitting in traffic with children for hours on end, especially in the rainy season.
Okay, thank you. So I would say something. I feel the pain for Nigerians when they're in traffic. I sincerely apologize. we go through the same. On Thursday, I was on the Lekki Expressway corridor for 5 hours in that traffic. The Commissioner for Transport was equally in that same traffic. So I experienced it. It's not as if we go about in chopper or helicopters. We go through it. But one thing I must say is this. Disasters don't tell you that they're going to happen. But you can mitigate, you can avoid them, you can mitigate. So when we say the bridges are not places for people to stay under, in normal climes, underneath the bridges are not where people stay. You don't put fire, you don't want to roast corn or roast things underneath the bridge. So invariably, it looks like we use our hands to destroy ourselves. So when people go in and they destroy, because nobody knew that Kwamo Bridge was going to be burnt. It came as we were still battling, we were still trying to, because we just managed to come out of Third Mainland Bridge. And even at that, the federal government has not finished the work for the underwater concrete. They were still doing some investigations underneath the bridge, underwater, at least away from the surface that people could go over. Only for them to hear this one happen. They had just managed to do Apako Oshodi. Apako Oshodi was also one that the trailer tanker that caught fire underneath the column. So it looks like we do not have money. Before you finish one, another one happens. And so the program of the one at the Yaba Junction, the rail being done by Lamata, was ongoing. Yeah. Nobody foresaw what was going to happen for the Akpogbo. So it's difficult for you to say government should tell us and let us plan, because we didn't plan for the Akpogbo. Well, we didn't plan for the Akpogbo.
I understand, but even before the Akpogbo Bridge,
and then even for the federal government, the Third Mainland Bridge, the time they want to start is not something you have control over. It's subject to provisions in the budget when they have the money. Funds. So when they tell you we have reasons to start this work now, you need to collapse your own program, shut it in, and make sure everything fits into it.
That's what we do.
So
it's ongoing. It's going for a long period of time. But I don't want to even dwell on that, because I understand that the government is doing its best to make sure that this, happens. So my last, to end it up is, what do you think in an ideal situation, like after doing most of the work, what would you like to see in, let's say, 2-3 years, so that we are not constantly trying to catch up? Instead, government is on the part of maybe just maintaining, and so what needs to happen in 2 or 3 years for that to happen?
Thank you. I think as a government, one thing we preach and we say is this. The vision that we want on this infrastructural growth, we know. We've demonstrated it even in the way we funded. The last 3 years I've seen the budgets on infrastructure provision go up by as much as 25%, from 105 billion to 123 billion, 126 billion, and now this current year, close to 156 billion. So that tells you it's a deliberate investment in infrastructure. But we must, if we are doing this, the citizenry must also take ownership. Ownership, we must respect right-of-way acquisition. When they say, this is the plan of government, I want to come and build a Fourth Mainland Bridge, and I'm going to start from here to here. I have acquired and gazetted this corridor. It behoves the citizenry to respect that sanctity, to say, government will come. It doesn't matter if they don't come in the number of years they say they will come, but they're definitely coming. Because when people violate it, you make it difficult for us to come back whenever we are ready to come and build. And more importantly, it's that ownership. Even the little one that we have done, it's for people to take ownership. When you see infrastructure being abused,
I think we need to bring you back, Ma, because there's a lot of conversation around ownership.
Yes.
So that, I mean, as I said it a lot, we've realized that many human beings can act like animals, but we need some kind of enforcement to get them to work towards us. So we need that, so we have to. But thank you very much,
I don't envy your job.
It was a pleasure.
And you displayed so much competence in the way you broke down. Thank you.
That's all we can take. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.
Thank you.